Hi crochet friends, I'm Ellen Gormley and welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute since I've been here and I lost my crochet mojo for a little while. Have you ever done that? Well, let me show you how I got it back, or at least I'm trying to get it back. So I have had this green yarn for a while. I don't even know what brand it is anymore. I lost the label, but I've really liked it and I wanted to use it. So I found this really cool crow's foot lattice out of this book, Crochet Stitch Dictionary by Sarah Hazel. I think the link is in, you'll be able to find it by going down into the description below and following my Amazon wish list, Sarah Hazel Crochet Stitch Dictionary, 200 stitches. It's on page 67. So I was looking at this and I thought, oh, this is really pretty. So, and don't look too closely at my hand because like all my nails are broken and it's winter and you know, like it's all part of the thing. Okay, so I started working on this stitch pattern and I really like it. It's hard to see in this dark color though. Here comes Theo. Hi, Theo. And as I was working, guess who got a hold of my green yarn? This guy right here. This guy got a hold of my green yarn and he ripped it apart and I had to stitch it back together and I lost a couple yards and it kind of stole my mojo a little bit. And then when I added the new yarn back in, and I am going to teach you this stitch, by the way, but as, here's a pitfall. So as I added the new yarn, I made a mistake. Like you may not be able to see this, but I noticed it because I went from like, this looks like the right side, right side, right side, and then all of a sudden this looks like the wrong side. So somewhere here in the middle, when I added the new yarn, I did two of the same row. And you can see it a little bit better if you like see the light through it. And this is what he did to rip my yarn apart. And so I made a mistake. And so then I got discouraged and I thought, do I even want to do this? And I could keep going and nobody would even notice. And then I thought, you know, maybe I should just start over because I don't even know if I have enough green for what I want to do anyway, now that he ripped part of it apart. So let's just put that in time out for now. Not Theo. I'm putting the yarn in timeout, even though it's not the yarn's fault. So sometimes we displace our annoyance, don't we, Theo? It should be at you, but you're too cute. So I'm going to put my annoyance on my yarn. In the meantime, I'm going to grab this yarn from that I bought in Iceland. And so you can go look at the Iceland video if you want. I bought this at a grocery store in Iceland. So fun. And I think I'm going to... I really should go down a hook size. I was using a worsted weight yarn and an eye size hook, and I felt like maybe it needed to be a little bit smaller of a hook. So do I want to do an F5? An F? Do I want to do an F? No, I think I'm going to go down to this 4.5 millimeter. So I want to go down a hook size because this yarn is smaller, and maybe I'll get a better lacier effect. But if I don't, I can rip back and start again. So I'm going to swatch. So this crow's foot lattice is a really pretty stitch pattern, and it is worth keeping and not placing in timeout. So I'm going to place a slip knot on my hook and chain a multiple of 4 plus 4. So I was trying to make kind of a wider scarf. So I was just doing groups of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, until I got the width that I wanted, and then add 4 more. So I'm not even really counting. I don't even know. It doesn't even matter. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you were doing a garment, it would matter if you needed a specific size, but I am just doing, okay. And I probably shouldn't even do this on camera because it's going to take me too long to get across the row, but I really like it to be even wider than this. So I have my chain of multiples of 4 plus 4 more. So basically in the 5th chain from the hook, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we are going to double crochet. And to show you just how off my game I am, you're probably hearing the painters in the back scraping the door. We're going to skip 1, 2. I've chained 1. We're going to skip 1, 2. We're going to single crochet in the next back ridge, back bar, back bump. So the painters are here scraping the front door. I forgot to put on my lights to get me the best lighting. So it's now I'm seeing through the camera, it looks a little dark. We're going to skip 1, 2 stitches. I really should have waited to do a video until my nail grew out since I had broken it off so terribly. So in this stitch, we're going to double crochet, chain 1, treble crochet, chain 1, treble crochet is 2 yarn overs, chain 1, and double crochet all in that same space, or same stitch or space, whichever is indicated. So this shell we are going to repeat over and over again, and it is double crochet, chain 1, treble crochet, chain 1, double crochet, all in the same stitch or space. So that's the shell that we are doing. Then on the next row, we're going to do a V stitch of sorts. So this beginning where we double crocheted in the 5th chain from the hook is kind of like a half of a shell. Okay, chain 1, skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and single crochet in the next. Now, the first time I did this, I ended up with 2 extra stitches. So chain 1 after the single crochet, skip 2 stitches. We're going to do the shell. Remember, the shell is double crochet, chain 1, treble crochet, which is 2 yarn overs, chain 1, and double crochet all in the same stitch or space, and then chain 1. Skip 1, 2 stitches, single crochet in the next, chain 1, skip 2 stitches, 1, 2. So what I was saying, on the green one, my first attempt, I actually had a couple chains left over, and I don't know whether I just miscounted or whatever, but I didn't really care because I can always unravel those later, especially since my finished project width didn't really matter. So we got a stitch, so chain 1, skip 1, 2, single crochet in the next, chain 1. So really, I mean, be easy on yourself, folks. This is supposed to be fun, and if it's too stressful, then put it aside. Put it in timeout. Take a break. Work on getting your crochet mojo back, because you know crochet is a valuable, relaxing and valuable use of your time. And if you're not finding it relaxing, then it's time to take a break. Hey, look, I got it right this time though. So skipping 2 chains and then single crochet. Nope, that is wrong. Because according to this pattern, I should have the shell. So, okay, I've got some extras here. So I don't know why the multiple of 4 plus 4 didn't work for me either time. So I am not going to worry about it. I am going to end with a single crochet, chain 1, treble crochet in that stitch. So I'm going to pull back and just finish right there and call that the end of my row. Now, if you guys will indulge me a little bit, I know you probably want to know the exact multiple better than me just, I mean, you probably prefer that more than me just winging it. So I would have to pull out 1, 2, 3. So I don't know where I went wrong with the counting, maybe because I was talking too much, but if I end there, the number of chains that we needed to perform this 1, 2, 3 and a half, 4 shells, should have been what? 4 times 4 is 16 plus 4 is 20. We probably should have had to start with a beginning of chain 20. So let's see what happened here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Now remember, this was in the 5th chain, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So I don't know what I did wrong, but it was saying to skip 4 chains and double crochet in the 5th chain from the hook, and I thought I did that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I don't know what is wrong here, and I don't really feel like working it out or figuring it out, because crochet is a relaxing and valuable use of my time. So I know when I'm ready, I think I'm going to rip this out and do it wider when I do my actual project. And so I will do a multiple of 4 plus 4, but I will just know that I'm going to end up ripping out these 3 chains. And to rip out these 3 chains, I'm just literally going to unravel back. And it would help if I actually had fingernails, but since they have all ripped off, I'm going to just pull out. Do you guys ever do this where you just like don't worry about it and just chain a bunch and then unravel the first couple unusable ones? I don't have any problem with it at all. I just want to make sure that if you're going to make this into a garment, you need to actually have it right, But if you're doing a scarf like I was going to do, it really doesn't matter how wide it is. I think I want mine to be a little bit wider. So I'm just gonna tighten that last up. See there, now you can even tell that I had leftover stray orphaned chains there. All right, so we are just, being flexible. Life is about being flexible. So on round 2, or row 2 rather, I'm chaining 1 and turning and single crocheting in the first stitch. Okay, so now this is the second row, and we're going to be repeating. It's 8 rows, 2 through 5 repeat. And so it's really just a 2-row repeat, but because they're offset like bricks, like if you see the shells here, a shell, 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 then that's why it's offset a little bit, but it's really the same function of stitches every other row. Okay, so row 2 is to chain 1 and single crochet in the first stitch there, chain 1. Now this is really interesting. So in this single crochet, this is the new stitch that I was very entranced with and why I chose this pattern. We're going to treble crochet, which is yarn over twice, insert it into the single crochet, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, chain 1. Now the double crochet that goes with this unique crow's foot V-type stitch is we are going to place the double crochet not in that same chain where you might think you're going, but actually in the side loops of the base of that treble crochet. So I'm going to go in the side of the stitch right here and double crochet there. So it's a little bit of a different V, and I really like it. And so this is what drew me to this pattern to begin with. So instead of anchoring the double crochet in the same exact spot where the treble is, it's kind of like growing off the side of the treble like a branch, okay? And it makes more of a Y shape than a V shape. So we should probably ought to call it a Y stitch. So chain 1, and then we are single crocheting in the middle treble of that shell, chain 1. And now we're going to do that Y stitch again. So yarn over twice because the first is like the trunk of the tree, and then chain 1. And then we're going to do a branch off the side of the base of the tree by grabbing 2 strands at the base of the stitch and placing our double crochet in there. So it is a new branch that comes off the side there near the base. Chain 1. Single crochet in the middle stitch of that shell, chain 1, and then another Y stitch. So treble crochet, yarn over twice, complete the stitch, chain 1, yarn over because we're double crocheting in 2 of the strands near the base of the stitch, coming off the side, but not in the single crochet. So it's actually in the side of the treble crochet. Yarn over and pull through 2. So now we have a Y shape. Chain 1. Single crochet, chain 1, another Y stitch in the single crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the side of the 2 loops near the base of the tree, chain 1. And then to end this row, we need to mirror what we had at the beginning. So we are going to just single crochet in the top of the turning chain. And if you're not sure what you're doing, it would really help if I had a fingernail there. You want to make sure that you mirror what you did over on the first edge with the left edge. So now this is somewhat lacier, I think, because this is wool yarn. I might have to block it for the pattern to really pop, because even this smaller hook might not be, I'm not sure if I should have stayed with a bigger hook so that it would be open and more lacy, but I don't want it to look sloppy. So there's a fine line between using a really big hook to make it look lacy, but too big of a hook makes it look sloppy. But this is what it looks like so far. And let's do row 3. So row 3, we're going to chain 1 and turn. It is a single crochet on top of that single crochet, chain 1. And now we get to do the shell. But this time we're going to do it in the Y stitch. So it was over here on row 1, but now we're going to move it over here in the Y stitch so that it is offset like bricks. So I find that if you wait for the perfect time to make a video, at least in my life, there is no perfect time anymore. So waiting a week for the painters to get done didn't work out. And so waiting for my nail to grow back didn't work out. So we're just going to wing it and just let it go from there. So shell again in the Y stitch. So we're going to shell in every Y stitch across. Remember, the shell is double crochet, chain one, treble crochet, chain one, and then another double. Then on either side of the shell is a chain one, and we are single crocheting in the single crochet. So let me show you that a little bit. So we had shell, chain one, single crochet, chain one, shell, shell, single crochet, chain one, shell. So the shells go in the top of the Y stitches, the combination of stitches that made the Y shape. And that is not an official term, Y stitch, but it describes that grouping of stitches for this particular pattern. So you will never find in a pattern, or at least I've never seen it say, make a Y stitch, but that's what I am calling this group of stitches. So this little teeny pattern within a pattern. So at the end of row 3, we are also going to finish with a single crochet in the single crochet like we did at the beginning of the row, because we bookend it similarly. So I really do like this pattern. I'm just disappointed with myself that I let the yarn out for the cat to get a hold of and he ripped it, which I don't blame him. I mean, it is attractive. And then I messed up the pattern, and then it wasn't as lacy as I wanted. And so 1, 2, 3, 4 is what we're doing to begin row 4. And we will double crochet in the same spot at the beginning, the same stitch, that last single crochet there on the edge. And now we will chain one, single crochet in the top of the shell, chain one. So we're always single crocheting in the top of one of those shells, and we're placing chains on the either side of every element. So now we're doing a Y stitch in the single crochet. So that's a treble, chain one, and then place the branch of the tree off the side of the base with a double crochet, chain one, single crochet in the top of the shell, chain one. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel, please, if you don't mind. Also, you can always place the channel on play all and reduce the tab and turn down the sound if you want to keep the channel playing in the background while you're doing other things, or just keep the sound of my voice while you're cooking and cleaning or whatever, so that you can have a relaxing and valuable use of your day. And maybe some of this crochet will like seep into your brain by osmosis, even when you're not crocheting. So there we go. So the Y stitch, chain one, single crochet in the top of the shell, chain one, and then to end row 4, we're going to do half of a big shell. So we're doing half of a Y stitch. We're in the Y stitch row. So treble crochet, and then place the double crochet in it. Okay, nice. So this is really pretty yarn. I don't know where you can get it. You'll have to maybe Google search it, because literally I found this in a grocery store in Iceland. It was the coolest thing ever. So go check out the Iceland video if you want to see me have a great time buying yarn at a grocery store. Okay, and so row 5, this is the last row of this pattern, and then you'll repeat rows 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So did you notice on row 4, we chained 4, and on row 5, we're chaining 5, if that helps you to keep it straight in your head. But then remember and then that's a double crochet, chain 1, single crochet in the single crochet, chain 1. But then remember, when you're counting rows, like when you have like the big green one, you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, because we're not going to do row 1 again. So if that helps you remember that on the rows 4, we're chaining 4, on the rows 5, we're chaining 5 at the beginning of each row. But remember, when you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then start over at 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Okay. All right, big shell in the Y. So that's a chain, double crochet, chain 1, treble crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. Okay, single crochet in the single crochet, chain 1. Big shell in the Y stitch with a double crochet, chain 1. Please comment below if you have ever lost your crochet mojo and how did you get it back. For me, I tend to get it back when I find inspiring yarn. If I go to a class, if, you know, I go stash diving in my yarn basket, those are things that help me get excited about stitching again when it's been really busy. Okay, please use the affiliate links below in the description below. It does not cost you any money at all, but it takes you to Amazon or Knit Picks. And I get a kickback that does not charge you any extra. So thank you so much for those of you who use my affiliate links. Thank you so much. Thank you for those of you who watch the channel. Let's see. So we're ending this one. We're ending row 5 with a double crochet, chain 1, treble crochet. That's what we're supposed to be doing in the top of the turning chain. Harder to do without a fingernail on that side there. Okay, and then a treble crochet. All right, there you go. So I'm gonna keep going with this. I might actually rip it out because I'd like it to be like maybe to here, maybe 3 more repeats. Maybe 3 more repeats over here and make a nice wide scarf. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to rip back and get that multiple going, but this is how you do the crow's foot lattice stitch pattern, and I hope you have had a relaxing and valuable use of your day, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks. Bye. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Ellen Gormley. I hope that you spent the last few minutes with a relaxing and valuable use of your crochet time. If you've not seen the last video, click up here if you've got a few more minutes. If you have seen it, here's another one I think you might really like. But everybody, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. See you next time.